So this is going to be a longer version of when I had rescaped Wilson's tank. I like to sometimes use gravel in mesh bags. It makes it to where the hardscape that you put into your tank has more height. With this scape, I definitely winged it. I had not really a general idea of what I wanted, but I had extra hardscape and extra plants that I had when I was scaping Rudy's tank. But with some aquascapes that you might find yourself doing, you may have to just go with the flow and let the hardscape tell you what to do. It makes aquascaping more of a creative process as well as fun, because you're not necessarily following exactly what someone's doing, but rather you're keeping it original to yourself. So for the plants, I used a nutrient substrate along with an inert substrate. The nutrient substrate I had bought from my local fish store, and I don't have the bag anymore, so I can't specifically tell you which substrate I was using. I use root plants as well as rhizomal. Rhizomal basically means that you don't necessarily have to put them in substrate. They can be adhered onto rocks or pieces of wood. And to adhere them, I will use either gel super glue or twine. And an emphasis on the gel, it must be gel super glue. So when I was putting the dwarf hairgrass in, I definitely had a lot of problems getting it to stay put. It kept wanting to uproot itself, and that might be something you guys find yourself doing. And if that does happen, don't worry. I recommend that you buy some aquascaping tools. I personally bought mine from Amazon. Tweezers help a bunch when planting plants into your tank, because it gives a lot more precision as opposed to your fingers. Your fingers might end up uprooting things, and that's no fun. So I highly recommend you buy some tweezers if you really want to get into aquascaping. Eventually, I was able to get the dwarf hairgrass to stay put, and since then has established itself in the tank. I set this tank up about 3 months ago, and Wilson has definitely loved it. Since he needed a lot more places to relax on with his fins, I definitely noticed a change in his fin nipping. He doesn't do it as much anymore, and the plants have really established themselves. I always recommend that if you want to have algae control and control on water parameters, I always recommend live plants. Always found them to be really helpful. Anyways, this was Wilson's tank, and I hope you guys found this informative and it gave you an idea of where to start.